the project and envisioned the new age that would arise from the old. While Oppie resembled General Groves in the intensity of his effort and dedication, his gentle demeanor, social grace, even his physique, showed a marked contrast to the general's. But the greatest difference between the two men lay in the complexity of their personalities. Oppenheimer was so extraordinarily complicated and clever that he could mask these qualities with an appearance of simplicity. Groves' astuteness is most clearly demonstrated in that, despite opposition from the Military Security Division, whose value and function he supported and even overestimated, he selected Oppenheimer as scientific director. The contrast and cooperation of Groves and Oppenheimer is the most striking human story in the Manhattan Project. Much of my life has been spent in laboratories of similar size and complexity to the Los Alamos laboratory. I have known many directors intimately. For a short time, I was even a director myself. I know of no one whose work begins to compare in excellence with that of Oppenheimer's. Oppie knew in detail the research going on in every part of the laboratory and was as excellent at analyzing human problems as the countless technical ones. Of the more than 10,000 people who eventually came to work at Los Alamos, Oppie knew several hundred intimately, by which I mean that he understood their relationships with one another and what made them tick. He knew how to lead without seeming to do so. His charismatic dedication had a profound effect on the successful and rapid completion of the atomic bomb. Some of Oppenheimer's qualities come through in the recent BBC production. However, General Groves in this television drama is rather inadequately presented. Even his girth was underestimated. Obviously, no one with so little intelligence as the General Groves presented by the BBC could have met the massive responsibilities of providing shelter, equipment, and materials with so little delay and impediment to the project. I must confess, however, that between 1943 and 1945, General Groves could have won almost any unpopularity contest in which the scientific community at Los Alamos voted. I remember a meeting early in 1943 at which Oppie announced a revision in security clearance procedures, made necessary by the fact that so many of us could not be cleared under the usual regulations. The new rules called for us to clear one another by vouching for our good intentions and backgrounds. Someone piped up, "Does that mean that clearance will be based on our scientific good names?" Oppie responded, "Groves doesn't believe we have any other." We laughed. General Groves, or his nibs, as we called him, could hardly have been completely unaware of Oppie's and our attitudes. He chose to disregard them. No one should be surprised that a group of independent scientists found General Groves and his regulations irritating. Secrecy runs contrary to the deepest inclinations of every scientist. We were willing to make sacrifices even when they seemed ludicrous because of the war. But military regulations affected every detail of our lives, and, worse, they were worded as if we lacked the common sense of a 5-year-old. I recall a directive issued in early 1945 during the only serious water shortage at Los Alamos. The order did not carry General Groves' signature, but we all attributed it to him. It detailed the ways in which the shortage would be met and concluded with the memorable sentence, "Residents will not use showers except in case of emergency." Adopting the attitude that General Groves, rather than we ourselves, lacked native intelligence helped to decrease our frustration. If we failed to appreciate him, his recognition of us was similarly lacking. Although Groves made the following statement almost a decade after the Los Alamos years, he conveyed these feelings fully during the time that we were together. We, the military leaders at Los Alamos, came up through kindergarten with them, the scientists. While they could put elaborate equations on the board, which we might not be able to follow in their entirety, when it came to what was so and what was probably so, we knew just about as much as they did. So, when I say that we were responsible for the scientific decisions, I am not saying that we were extremely able nuclear physicists, because actually we were not. We were what might be termed thoroughly practical nuclear physicists.